Hello everyone, this is Cherie, and today I'm going to discuss the nominees for Best Original Screenplay for the 93rd Academy Awards. The nominees in alphabetical order were Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman, The Sound of Metal, and Trial of the Chicago 7. Now it's kind of interesting, all five of these were either written or co-written by their director. And this has been something that's happened for the past decade, where at least three of the screenplay nominees will have been written or co-written by their director as well. Food for thought. Now, every year I make it a point to read each of the five nominated scripts. And I would like to recommend to you one of the five this year. And this is based purely on what does a good script look like. I have to preface this by saying, if you are a writer-director and you are directing your own screenplay, it doesn't matter what it looks like. You could put drawings on every single page. It doesn't matter. It's your blueprint. You don't have to make it look good for anyone else. However, if you are just a screenwriter, not a director, and you want people to take you seriously, you need to make your script look as good as possible. Now, all five of these movies are great. I definitely recommend that you watch all five, but there's only one that I will recommend you read the screenplay for. You're probably thinking, well, it has to have been Promising Young Woman because that's the one that won for Best Original Screenplay. No. Let me show you what that script looked like. When I went online to find the PDF file for the Promising Young Woman script, this is the file that I found. You open it up and it says 140 pages, which after the title page means 139 pages, which would be a 2-hour and 19-minute movie because every script page equals 1 minute of screen time. Promising Young Woman was not 2 hours and 19 minutes, it was 1 hour and 54 minutes. So what's going on here? If you start scrolling through the script, you will notice there are big chunks of blank pages. And my best guess on this would be that it was written in one computer program and then transferred over into another, and then it wasn't reformatted. It's just a mess to look at. It's kind of interesting. They don't have those tally marks in the script that indicate the act breaks. So that must have been something that was added later, either by the editor or the director's choice, post writing the script. But anyway, yeah, so it's just kind of disappointing that it just looks so messed up. All right, on to The Sound of Metal. I have not seen a script with this many spelling and grammar errors since the last Tarantino script that I read. And if you are trying to get your scripts read and be taken seriously as a screenwriter only, not the director, but the screenwriter, just run a spell check before you turn it in. You'll have to get maybe someone else to look for grammar errors because Final Draft doesn't do grammar checks, and basically dialogue is usually not grammatically correct anyway, so you'd just be looking for the grammar and the action blocks. But yeah, try to have the correct spelling of words in your script. Judas and the Black Messiah. This script took me 3 different sittings to get through. And it's not a really long script. It's 112 pages, it's less than a 2-hour read. But for some reason, I just was not enjoying reading it. And I think it has to do with their big blocks of dialogue, speeches. And it was a lot of more tell instead of show, where when you're writing, you want to show, not tell. And I think the writers had the unenviable task of having to give the audience a history lesson as well as tell a story, because most people don't know who Fred Hampton was. I didn't until this year when 2 movies featured him as a character. Yeah, there was a lot of information that had to be given through the screenplay. So that one that was, for me, it was a chore to read. And the same with Trial of the Chicago 7. This was written and directed by Aaron Sorkin, and he's known for his dialogue. So the script for Trial of Chicago 7 is 160 pages, which would mean it would be like a 2-hour and 40-minute film. But the film is only 2 hours and 4 minutes. And I think that's just because of the pacing of the dialogue. You know, there's lots of it, but it goes quicker because of the way he directs his writing. But this one took me 5 times to get through, 5 sittings. I was just not enjoying it. And I liked the movie fine, you know. There's a lot of flashbacks, flash forwards. I guess it could be a little confusing when you're reading it, but when you watch the movie, it's not. But yeah, it was long, you know, it's a long script, and I just was not enjoying reading it. It was really long. All right, so this leads me to the final script, and this is the one that I would recommend you read if you want to just see a really good example of how a screenplay should look. That is Minari. And Minari, if you don't know, that is actually an herb used in a lot of Asian dishes, and the grandmother character in the movie grows it. So Minari is only 97 pages, short script, just so easy to read. And yes, the movie is about 2/3 Korean, 1/3 English. But what they did in the script, it's all in English, and they start at the top saying, all dialogue in brackets indicates Korean language. So, you know, therefore you know that everything in the brackets is in Korean, and so you can just read it in English, and it's great. And just look at this script. Look at how much white there is on the page. That's just gorgeous. You want that. There's an even distribution of dialogue versus action. And oh, yes, this is how you want your scripts to look. So that's it. Again, all these movies are wonderful. You should watch them all. But if you want to read one really good screenplay from the group, please read Minari. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next video.